is huge, right? Losing a lot of our lineup to the draft and guys that are aged out and graduated, having a returning guy with that type of experience and that type of success as a freshman, just kind of being one of those staples in the lineup that you can count on every day. That's going to put together a professional at bat. So just extremely excited about him coming back.
Nate, Andrew, Jake.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about former alumni that's come back into the Valley. Joe Lampy, he's been tearing it up in the Arizona Fall League. What can you kind of say to his development and what he kind of meant to the program when he was here?
Lamp's awesome, man. I'm excited to see him having success and doing what he does. He I think the day that this season finished up, he was down at Muni, walking around the clubhouse again. He bleeds ASU, which is awesome, and then having him go out to the Fall League and having a lot of success. He's getting close. I told him I don't know what the numbers are, but I think it's like 92% of guys in the Fall League make it to the big league, so no pressure. But if I know Lamp like I think I do, he's getting close.
Andrew.
Coach, last year, one of the final games in the season was in the Big 12 championship at Globe Life. This year, it's up and surprise. How do you feel that that's going to be bringing an advantage to Arizona State?
Well, I think we don't have to travel as far, which is nice, and then the weather will let everybody else come in our town and melt. We'll be used to it. So but I think it'll be regardless, it'll be a great structure, be a good format, and be very competitive again. So, the Globe Life tournament, it was awesome. Obviously we didn't have the success we wanted to, but the overall tournament was great, and hopefully we can continue that out of Surprise.
And then on Alex, I know you and Lyle, I believe, played on the Diamondbacks together. Was there any conversations with him about bringing Alex to Arizona State?
No, we didn't. Not until he got in the portal. He went in the portal, and then I actually did talk to his dad a little bit, just about what was important for Alex and Lyle and his family, it was we had a dogfight with some other schools with him, of course, and he's a very good arm. But at the end of the day, we were able to win that battle, which was nice.
We'll go Tim and then Jake.
Willie, a couple of questions. First of all, with Cole, what will be the factors that determine whether you're going to use him at the back end again or at the front end? Because it seems like he's a great weapon, whichever role you choose for him.
Yeah, it's a nice to have that, I guess, discussion, and I want to give him every opportunity to start. I think on the weekend, and the biggest factors will be, can he hold his stuff, throughout 2 or 3 times through the lineup. I think is going to be the ultimate big thing, and we've seen him go carve a lineup pretty good one time through, and for 3 innings, and it's just a matter of can he hold that stuff, through 5, 6, 7 innings, and does he need a third pitch? He's got 2 electric pitches right now. Does he need a third one if we're going to face a lineup 2 or 3 times? And the rest of it is kind of how the rest of the staff shakes out. Ultimately, what's going to make our team the best. And Cole doesn't have an ego when it comes to that. I think he wants to do whatever is going to help our team win. And if that means he's on the front end and giving us 5 or 6 innings on a start, great. If that means we can use him multiple times on a weekend in the back end, I love my back end bullpens if they can be good. So, because I've had some shaky ones that haven't been fun. So I know the importance of having the good back end guys that can really close out a game when you have a lead.
If you had a crystal ball and you see him down the road as a pro, where do you think he plays best at the next level?
It's tough to say. The kid just keeps getting better and better. We shut him down after the long summer that he had and threw a lot of innings for us last year, and then had some success up in the Cape before going to Team USA. That was a long summer for him, so we kind of shut him down, and he's been doing nothing but work extremely hard in the weight room and throwing iron around and getting stronger. And his first touch and feel pitch the other day was 96 miles an hour, and you're just going, dude, back it down a little bit, man. But that's just he's like, I'm not trying to throw hard, and it's okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty exciting for him. So the kid just keeps getting better. So I don't know ultimately what the future is for him. I don't want to put a ceiling on him because he could do both. He'd go right now and be a good back end guy, I think, and on some big league teams. But I think his aspirations are probably to start, and that's going to be the biggest thing if he can hold his stuff throughout a length of time and go through a lineup 3 times.
One last question. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Big 12. Wide open last year. West Virginia comes out of nowhere to win the league. Do you see the league as being that wide open again this year?
I think so. I mean, there's been a lot of guys that have lost some players and into the draft and whatnot. I think it's going to be going into it. I can't put my finger on a favorite. Like these guys are going to be the team to beat. I think there's going to be a lot of those. There's a lot of teams that have gotten better. I know it'll be very competitive again. I think it'll be anybody's race toward the end.
Coach, throughout your time here, you've had a lot of talent behind the dish from Campos and last year Father came in. What have you seen from Brody Briggs and his attempt to kind of step up in his 3rd year to continue that success behind the dish?
Well, Briggsy's had to be a good teammate this fall because he had a thumb surgery, so he hasn't had any time yet this fall. But you can see just the leadership skills that he possesses. Being positive with the guys out there. I mean, he thinks he's a coach, because he can't play. So he's right in my ear almost every practice. I'm like, Briggsy, you got to tone it down a little bit, because he's always got to be talking, which is awesome. But I'm anxious to get him back. He's probably about 2 weeks away from starting to be able to do game stuff again. He's been, already playing doctor and thinks he knows when he should be allowed to be catching, and it's like, no, you've still got 2 more weeks, and he doesn't like that very much. So. But bottom line, he's been outstanding. I look for him to take a nice step forward this year. Again, with a couple of young, talented freshmen that are coming in. Tommy Brown has been very good behind the dish, and Cooper Klauser has done a good job, and of course Johnny Garber's back, and we acquired Cohen Nikolai in the portal. So there's a big dogfight behind the plate for playing time, and we got some good problems back there.
Anyone else? Cool. Oh, one more. Andrew.
How with the roster shrinking down to 34 guys, are we going to see more 2-way guys in the future, or is that something that will come and see?
It's a great question. I think we're gonna have to get more creative. Certainly with guys that are able to do multiple things, and if that means guys can play a position and pitch, I think that's going to add a lot more value to these guys. At least give them the opportunity to do so. With again 34 on a roster, that's pretty thin, especially going into the fall and trying to have competitive fall games, inter squads against each other, with trying to field 2 separate teams to play against each other with enough arms. It makes it challenging. So the more guys can do, and the better athletes they are that are capable of doing more things, I think that just creates more value for them.
Thank you.